Good evening and welcome. Thanks very much for joining us here on NDTV. I'm Padmaja Joshi, and on every story that matters, the buck stops here. Is the INDTV group opposing the right to pray of Hindu devotees in Tamil Nadu? Have they now moved a motion to impeach Justice G.R. Swaminathan of the Madras High Court simply because he passed the judgment that allows the lighting of the Karthigai Deepam lamp atop a hill at Thiruparankundram? And more importantly, why are parties like the Shiv Sena UBT, NCP Sharad Pawar, Samajwadi Party, why are they getting involved in an issue that has its roots essentially in a temple dispute in faraway Tamil Nadu? These questions are rocking the power corridors after the opposition bloc yesterday submitted an impeachment notice with 107 signatures cutting across party lines to the Lok Sabha Speaker. What does this motion say? It seeks Justice Swaminathan's ouster. While the DMK's politics in this is quite familiar, what has set the cat among the pigeons is the other INDTV parties who have also thrown their weight behind the move. In fact, the judgment, the impeachment motion and the politics around it, which revolves around the temple in Madurai, also echoed in the Lok Sabha today during the debate on electoral reforms. In fact, Home Minister Amit Shah singled out Uddhav Thackeray for his party's decision to back Justice Swaminathan's impeachment.
कोई जज आजादी के इतने साल में नहीं हुआ है मान्यवर कि कोई जज एक जजमेंट दे तो जज के खिलाफ इंपीचमेंट लेकर आते हैं। अपनी वोट बैंक को एड्रेस करने के लिए इंपीचमेंट लेकर आते हैं मान्यवर। और ये सारे ने तो साइन कर दिया, साथ ही साथ उद्धव जी ने भी साइन कर दिया। उद्धव जी, जजमेंट क्या है? एक पहाड़ी पर मान्यता है कि यहां सबसे ऊपर दिया जलाया जाए। मान्यवर, एक वोट बैंक को संभालने के लिए एक हाईकोर्ट के जज के सामने इंपीचमेंट लेकर आए हैं। देश की जनता उनको मदद नहीं करे।
Now, with the BJP branding the entire opposition group an anti-Hindu coalition, sensing the possible backlash, some netas did try a measure of damage control, claiming that this impeachment is not for the temple judgment at all. In fact, about the past misdemeanors of the same judge.
मंदिर में दीप जलाने की परमिशन दिया था, उसके खिलाफ इम्पीचमेंट है। अगर उनका जो कस्टम है, देखो भाई, अपने देश में संविधान ने अधिकार दिया अपने अपने धर्म से व्यक्तिगत रूप से जो करना है, पूजा पाठ जो कुछ, उसको संविधान ने अनुमति दी हुई है। अगर एक परंपरा है, उस परंपरा के खिलाफ कोई जाता है तो सही नहीं है। इसके लिए वो बीच में आया होगा
कि जो खुद को हिंदू हृदय सम्राट शिवसेना प्रमुख माननीय बाला साहेब ठाकरे जी का वंशज बताते हैं, ये यूबीटी पार्टी के सांसद लोगों ने भी दिया लगाने का डिसीजन दिया है। इसीलिए वो जज के खिलाफ जो अभियोग चलाने के लिए जो नोटिस दिए उसमें सिग्नेचर की है। कांग्रेस के नाद में लग के, राहुल गांधी के नाद में लग के हिंदुत्व उन्होंने खो चुका है, हिंदुत्व भूल चुके हैं।
The impeachment notice has been given based on only those 13 because in August no Thiruparankundram issue was there. So they want to interpret or give a color that this impeachment is for Thiruparankundram is totally trying to mislead the people as well as the attempt we have made. So these 13 charges are based on various occasions.
See, we are very much concerned with the situation in Thiruparankundram. Tamil Nadu is a very peace-loving society. We, irrespective of religion, caste, linguistic profile, we would like to live very peacefully. We believe there is a lot of sentiments among even the people and the government and the India Alliance parties. Our harmonious society will be troubled by this kind of judgment. So, to reflect the public sentiments, today India Alliance has given an impeachment motion against the Honorable Justice.
Interesting. Mr. Tiruchur Shiva is saying that this is about complaints against the judge from way back in August. However, other members of parliament who are also signatories to that impeachment motion are quite clear. It is about what is happening in Madurai. It is about the Deepam judgment, and it is about their concerns that communal harmony could be disturbed because of this judgment. And that brings us to the big questions on which the buck stops here. Is Justice G.R. Swaminathan being targeted today for giving a pro-Hindu judgment, or is it because of his past actions? Is this appeasement via impeachment? And if yes, what is the message sent out by the INDIA bloc, by the opposition parties who have moved for impeachment by unanimously backing this move? Joining us now on the show, we have a senior leader of the BJP, K. Annamalai. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking to us on this issue. I want to start by asking you about your comment on the motion of impeachment that has been submitted by members of the INDIA bloc. You say, and I quote, if the agenda on the table is to flaunt their anti-Hindu credentials, the MPs of India Alliance wear it like a badge of honor. The thing to note is, though, that the impeachment motion has not in any way been directly related to what happened in Madurai, the lighting of the Karthigai Deepam. Essentially, what the MPs have said is that the judge is conducting himself in a way that raises serious questions regarding impartiality, transparency, and the secular functioning of the judiciary. Why would you then call these MPs anti-Hindu? They are just saying that the judge is not acting in an impartial secular fashion.
Ma'am, it is very unfortunate that the DMK MPs, as part of the India Alliance, they met the Honorable Speaker today with a certain set of signatures to move the impeachment process. We have to understand, madam, in Tamil Nadu, the DMK government, if somebody is not to their liking, they invent reasons. Since Mr. G.R. Swaminathan, the Honorable Judge's order on Thiruparankundram issue is not to their liking, they've invented some reasons. It is the way DMK sees him. It is very, very unfortunate. That too, when the DMK government has gone on appeal to the Supreme Court, and when the appeal is there pending for admission, and right now they're trying to move an impeachment process, I really don't know what they're trying to achieve. And all the reasons in the impeachment notice also, it's invented reasons. Now, I'm sitting in front of you where Mr. G.R. Swaminathan has given a judgment against me as a person. One of my speech for contempt for hate speech, where G.R. Swaminathan ji has given a judgment against me, where I had to go to the higher court and get it stayed. Now, since because he has given a judgment against me, I am not saying that his bad is good. He has given a judgment, fine. That is how all judgments has to be looked. Whether it is a well-reasoned judgment, whether the judgment follows the constitutional property, whether the judgment follows the natural process of law. In terms of Thiruparankundram issue, yes, it follows the natural process of justice. It follows the constitutional property. Even in the division bench, when they went for an immediate appeal, one day later, even the division bench refused to stay this order. And today, in the Honorable Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, the same judge, Mr. C.R. Swaminathan, has quoted multiple instances in the last 2 months. He has quoted 3 instances in the last 2 months, where the local SP and the collector has defied the judge. Now we are seeing an unprecedented situation in Tamil Nadu, where the superintendent of police of a district and the district collector and the commissioner of police, they have defied the judge's order at 3 instances. In Thiruparankundram, they have defied. In a place called Dindikkal, in Perumal Kovil issue, they have defied. Again, in a place called Killiyur in Kanyakumari, they have defied. Now, what is the logic that DMK MPs are trying to say to the people of our country? That no, if we don't like a judge's order, we will bring impeachment motion, we will threaten a judge, we will bring judiciary into submission, we will threaten the judiciary to give judgments to our liking. Is this the message the MPs wanted to give to the whole country through this impeachment process, madam? I fail to understand what is their logic.
But that could be your interpretation. Again, I heard a lot of parties who have participated, who put their signature on this particular impeachment motion, and they seem to suggest specific allegation against Justice G.R. Swaminathan is that, one, he has shared a stage with the leader of your party, Mr. H. Raja, that he has made casteist comments about how people from only a certain caste should become priests, and 3, that he has also mocked Dravidian practices. That is why they are questioning his conduct and they are seeking his impeachment.
Madam, okay, if you are taking that line as an argument, I can give you multiple instances where a card-holding member of a DMK party at one point of time has become a judge of the Madras High Court. a judge of a Madras High Court whose mother was a MLA of the DMK party. I can just quote instances. I'm not getting into that. I can also quote instances where certain judges have spoken something in their mind which I can take offense to. But since they spoke in a private capacity, so none of us are interested to make it a big issue. Of course, G.R. Swaminathan multiple times in private functions, he could have spoken something. Whether I agree to it or not, it's a different context. Judges, we have seen, multiple judges in private context, they speak. And nowhere I think that G.R. Swaminathan has mocked any practices of Tamil people. Of course, he might have a viewpoint, he must have said that, and none of his judgments reflected that. Judgments reflected only the spirit of law. Now, the DMK government wants to bring selectively G.R. Swaminathan, calls his caste into question, calls his religion into question. All his judgments they want to bring through this angle. It's very unfortunate. When somebody starts seeing a judge through their perspective, start selectively taking each speech, each word out of context, so start selectively picking into their private appearances in different functions, a farewell function or a book release function or different functions. It is very unfortunate. G.R. Swaminathan, I am not defending him. I only defend his right to be a judge. I only defend his right to give the judgments. I only defend his right to give the judgments in the spirit of constitution, which he has done. And some of the judgments I might not agree. Some of the judgments somebody might not agree. That's a different issue, madam. In terms of Thiruparankundram, if they have an issue, they can always go to the Supreme Court and get it stayed. Now, only they have taken this fig leaf of Thiruparankundram. They want to add all those drama to it, selectively character assassinate the judge, and bring an impeachment motion by getting the signature of only the India Alliance MPs, which is very, very unfortunate. If people start doing this, political impeachment motion is given only because I remember nine times post our independence impeachment process they have used it at different points of time. Of course, many has failed. At many point of time, it is corruption. At many impeachment process, it is about vitiating the spirit of constitution. It is about assaulting the spirit of judiciary. First time I'm seeing a judgment did not favor a DMK government. They are bringing all these allegations just to build a case against the said judge, which is very unfortunate, ma'am. I think people of our country rightly should put an end to this kind of thing because there is no end to it. If everybody start taking an offense to a particular judge whom they don't like, then every year we have to admit at least 50 to 100 impeachment process in parliament. It is that the Inquiry of Judges Act is not, this particular process is not created for that. And DMK today, they stand exposed before the people of our country by nakedly trying to bring something. People of country are read through it. Okay, you have a problem with Thiruparankundram. You're trying to bring all those to personally character assassinate a judge.
But has it also now become a clash of ideologies and very unfortunately, maybe it's also become about caste, because one particular line in that notice that has been shared, where it says that he is favouring advocates from a particular community. What exactly is this a reference to? What community is being referred to over here?
Ma'am, okay, ma'am, how can they substantiate it? If they move a process saying that the judge belongs to a certain caste, is favouring advocates from a certain caste, do they have instances? Do they have numbers to prove whenever an advocate from a particular caste has appeared before his bench, they got a judgment in their favour? When the caste of an advocate from some other caste they came, they didn't get judgment. It is nonsense, ma'am. It is illogical. Anybody can just write a line. Anybody can just write a line and say. And any advocate is free to move before a judge. Very, very unfortunate. They want to bring his judge into question. Just a namesake, a single line, they can write anything. And nobody has given a complaint till now. Is there a complaint? Has the Bar Council of Madras has spoken about this at different points of time? The Bar Council of the Madurai bench of Madras High Court has spoken about it in different contexts? No, nobody has spoken. Only because the Thiruparankundram issue has happened, suddenly they want to bring all this angle and try to corner a judge. Of course, we also have serious misgivings with certain judges who we call into question in the Madras High Court, but we chose not to do it because we want to keep judiciary above politics. People from a DMK background, we don't question, fine, they are sitting in that position, we want to give respect to that position. And I'm just bringing some other context for your reference, madam. This is the first time in the history of country's independence, the DMK government has returned back the file sent by the High Court, the appointment of elevation of judges to Madras High Court. Because they felt they don't have judges to their liking. So they sent it back. Tamil Nadu doesn't have a DGP. Tamil Nadu has got an in-charge DGP. Because the UPSC has given 5 names, all the 5 names the DMK did not like, So they are putting in charge DGP. This is the state of Tamil Nadu's administration. You don't like somebody, don't appoint a DGP. You don't like the judges who are getting elevated to the Madras High Court, return the file. You don't like the judgment that is given in the Thiruparankundram case, immediately character assassinate and move an impeachment motion. Unfortunately, this is the sad state of affairs that is happening in Tamil Nadu, madam.
You know, at the very center of it all, of course, is Thiruparankundram. And related to that, the DMK's main issue is that the entire right to be able to light the holy flame is just an excuse by the BJP. That the people who have gone in appeal are fronts for the BJP, and you are reviving or you are touching upon a sore nerve, an issue which had remained settled for all of these years. Why?
Madam, I agree with the part of your question. Of course, there are certain things that is settled in Thiruparankundram, and there the demarcation is clearly settled, what belongs to Muslims and what belongs to the temple. And nobody is questioning Dargah, which belongs to the Islamic community. The steps leading up to Dargah belongs to the Islamic community. The Nelli Topu, the flat area where the burial process happens, belong to Muslim community. It's very clear cut. I only ask my DMK friends, nowhere in the whole process from 1920, the Deepatun was under question. Deepatun was always belonging to the Hindu temple, which is the Lord Subramania's temple. Deepatun always belongs to the Hindu temple. So the judge has given an order, a well reasoned out order, stating that you can't light on the top of the hillock, which is essentially the dargah is at the highest point, but you can light at the Deepatun, where 100 years back the process was there, so which is lower than the dargah. No previous judgments has touched it. The previous appeals of certain Hindu activists or certain bhaktas of Lord Muruga was about lighting at the top of the hillock. And G.R. Swaminathan, the judge clearly says you can't light at the top of the hillock. It belongs to the dargah, belongs to Islamic community. He has given permission to do it at the Deepatun. And DMK takes offense to Deepatun. Now we have to understand Deepatun very clearly belongs to the temple, madam. Nobody had a problem. In fact, unfortunate part is after December 1, the judgment was given. The first guy who went on appeal is the temple's executive officer, whose primary duty is to protect Deepatun. It is not the Dargah people who went on first appeal. Dargah people went on appeal on 4th after the DMK's instigation. That is the level to which the temple executive officer himself is behaving like a DMK agent.
Because they
and
are
the judgment is very well reasoned out. The DMK of course says no. The 2014...
Because they are saying that the intent is not a religious one. The intent is to create communal trouble. All of these years, nobody had a problem. Then why did Rama Ravi Kumar of Tamil Kachi go in appeal against it? For years, Deepatun did not see the Deepak lit over there. Why now? Why revive this issue now?
Madam, anybody has got the right to go on appeal at any point of time to protect their faith. Mr. Rama Ravi Kumar is one guy along with 5 petitioners were there. There are 6 petitioners. And for all the 6 petitioners, the petition was combined together. A judgment was given on 1st December. Now, the same question I can ask in case of Killiyur, where Mr. Swaminathan, the judge talks about in today's contempt of court judgment, he says, in Killiyur there is a fight between in Kanyakumari Christian and Hindus for a hillock, which is named as Malayadam Kundran, where Murugan is playing on top of a hill. So there continuously it is appealed by a Christian person, one by name Wilson. So anybody can make an appeal. Why only Christians should go on appeal? Why Hindus should go on appeal? Anybody can go on appeal to protect their faith. Just like nobody is reading into others, why DMK wants to read, since Rama Ravi Kumar is a Hindu, how can he go on appeal? Only a Hindu can go on appeal to protect the religion custom. And BJP, we stand for right of every community. If somebody says Dargah belongs to Hindu, we are not for it. Dargah belongs to Muslim. It is clearly established by law in different judgments during the British time and post-independence. We are only saying Deepatun, the Bhaktas of Muruga want to light it. The High Court has given permission. Why is the police blocking? That is our argument.
Because
why is the government not facilitating the High Court judgment?
Because a riot-like situation started.
You see in the last
they say a riot-like situation started. BJP leaders came there.
That happened in Madurai. It is only the government that is radiating the atmosphere by creating law and order, deploying thousands of policemen, barricading the whole city, make it look like a war zone, troubling the local population. Is even the window of a single bus got broken? Nothing. Peacefully Hindus have come. They showed 144, 163 BNSS, which is again faulty. Peacefully they went back. Again they came back, they arrested everybody, including our state president Nainar Nagendranji. Again they went back, again next day they came, again they blocked. Where did the Hindu community, anywhere in the whole 8 days, did they create any law and order?
The government has said that half a dozen policemen were injured.
Forces are in Tamil Nadu to create law and order.
The government has said half a dozen policemen were injured. Only 10 people were supposed to go under CISF cover. Close to 50 people assembled there and created a quote-unquote riot-like situation. And backed by your party, according to the government.
Madam, you can see very clearly the visuals. Very clearly the visuals on 3rd. When the High Court gave a contempt of court judgment that 10 petitioners can go along with CISF, people went. When police said only 10 can come, they said only 10 of us are there, we will go. Then police said no, 144 CRPC, 163 BNSS, you can't go. Then they said fine, 3 will go, not even 10. They said 2 will go. Then they said 1 guy will go. The whole visual is there in the public spectacle where the police brazenly, they said 10, police did not agree. They said 3 did not agree, even 1 did not agree, visual is there. Then for a peaceful set of protesters, they are trying to use lathi charge, pushing and pulling. And all those confusion we were seeing that is happening in the ground, the unfortunate situation which the police created on 3rd evening. And the CASF which dutifully went, they also returned back because a big center state problem would have happened. The DMK government was creating a center state issue by pitting the local police against the CASF on that day. Let us see the visuals, madam. Which Hindu provoked the police? Which Hindu attacked the police? Which Bhaktas of Muruga attacked them? Nobody attacked. It is the police that vitiated the whole atmosphere. In fact, in today's judgment, the Honorable Judge says, this is a contempt of courts, contempt of courts, contempt of courts, contempt. So today's judgment is 4th contempt of contempt. So he says, when the police commissioner on 4th, he ran away. Because 3rd, he was supposed to implement. Since contempt will come, he sent deputy commissioner next. This is a serious case where the police commissioner doesn't want to come on 3rd. He wants to send deputy commissioner because he's already in contempt. Let the deputy commissioner face the contempt. This kind of joke the administrator is playing on the judge. What will the judge do, madam? You tell me.
So, Mr. Annamalai, how does this get resolved? You know, the overarching narrative now is that the BJP is trying to recreate, and I quote what has been said in many videos, many articles, that you are trying to turn Madurai into the Ayodhya of the South, and that you are trying to create a Babri-like situation by bringing down the Dargah.
Madam, nobody is bringing down the Dargah. Dargah is peacefully there, and our Muslim friends have got every right to go to the Dargah, offer their worship and come back. It is 4 months back, a mischievous set of Islamic friends led by the Ramanathapuram MP himself, they tried to reclaim the whole hill and rename it as Sikandar Hill. The DMK government was watching. Somebody wanted to take the goat up the hill and cut it, which is illegal. Again, the DMK government was watching, which the court banned the cutting and slaughtering. Then the DMK MP from Ramanathapuram, the Muslim League MP, he took a chicken biryani and ate up to show the whole world that he can eat chicken biryani on a sacred place. All this nonsense they did. The DMK government stood watching. None of them moved to the court. None of them even did one arrest. None of them even filed a 107 CRPC. Nothing happened. Now, Muruga Bhaktas, they want to go peacefully to Deepatun only on that one day, madam. 3rd evening, they want to do at 6 o'clock, quietly come back. Who made this a big issue, madam? If the DMK has politely allowed, even five petitioners politely allowed up, they would have gone there, lighted the Deepa and come back. Issue is solved. Who made this issue into a national issue? Who vitiated the whole atmosphere, madam? It is DMK. Which Hindu or the Muruga Bhaktas did it, madam? The whole issue should have been solved in 10 minutes. It is the DMK which wanted to do minority appeasement, consolidate all minority votes. They want to do this drama. They orchestrated the whole law and order issue to tell our minority friends, I am with you. I will protect you. Even if the court gives judgment, don't worry, I am there. What is this drama they did, madam? It is absolutely against the spirit of the promise that the chief minister took by oath sitting in that chair. How can he treat two different communities separately when there is a judgment right in front of him? Of course, he has got every right to go to Supreme Court appeal and get back. Fine. Nobody has got a problem, madam. Now, why move impeachment motion now just to inform the other judges in Tamil Nadu at High Court at other level? Anybody gives a judgment against our government, then we will also face the same thing, madam.
It was already a potent combination when you had the issue of religion, belief, and politics colliding. But could now the judiciary also become collateral damage of this? We'll keep a close watch on that. For the time being, Mr. Annamalai, for speaking to us, thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
And in fact, let me take this across to our panel. Joining us on the show, we have Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, political analyst Karan Verma, political analyst Advocate Nikhil Jain and Jayant Menkar. But my first question is to you, Abbas Haider, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. This was a tug of war between the BJP and the DMK in Tamil Nadu over a temple dispute. Why did your party get involved? And what is the message that you are sending? Why do you want a judge impeached simply because he passed an order in favor of Hindu devotees?
Good evening, Padmaja. First of all, who said that we are moving an impeachment motion against Justice Swaminathan because he has given a certain order? Who told you that? See, if
why else are you moving the motion?
No. If you talk about this particular judge, Padmaja, this particular judge has been participating in many RSS-linked events. And he has said, I want to quote him, he has said that the current constitution of our country on which he has swore on that particular constitution, and he has said this is a relic of 1935 and this is a copied constitution. He has tried to demean, he has tried to dishonor the constitution.
When did he say this?
He has tried to mock the constitution of Baba Sahib Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar.
When did
Another
he say
case,
this, sir?
let me tell you, a case of Advocate Vashi Nanthan. In this particular case, he has moved a petition against this particular judge, Justice Swaminathan, to the Supreme Court of India about his caste bias, about his caste and religious bias. And then he moved a contempt against this particular lawyer.
When did he make that comment? That comment you just quoted, when did he make the comment about the constitution?
He has made this comment. This is in public domain. You can
When
check.
did he make
Not
it?
Not once, but multiple times.
When did he make it?
No. So basically, ma'am, I want to quote.
Did he make it? Did he make it on the 9th of December 2025? Why are you moving for his impeachment now? When did he make this comment?
Okay, I will come to your question. First of all, eight judges of Madras High Court, they have written an open letter to him.
When did they write an open letter?
They have written that this judge is unfit for the bench.
When did they write this open letter?
He doesn't seem to be a fan of the constitution. He may have sworn on the constitution, but he is behaving like an ideologue of RSS.
When did they write that letter?
In fact, I would like to request my friend Shehzad, BJP spokesperson, all the ruling party to come up with the opposition. Let's take a bipartisan
Abbas Haider,
approach.
you are dancing around my question. Why did you move for his impeachment on the 9th of December 2025? What did he do on the 1st of December, on the 3rd of December, on the 5th of December that has made you move this motion against him on the 9th of December? Did he talk about the constitution on the 9th of December? Did he make any comments about the Hindu Munani on the 9th of December? Did any of those judges write a letter on the 9th of December? Why did you wake up on the 9th of December 2025?
Padmaja ji, let me tell you, first of all, in 2000, I know where you are leading me to. I will come to that particular
I'm
judgment.
not leading you anywhere. I'm asking you a very factual question. If you are saying that this gentleman has got so many problems and he was unfit to continue as a judge, and there have been all these problems red flagged all of this time, why did you start to see those red flags only after, coincidentally, he delivered a judgment about the Deepam for a temple in Madurai?
Madam, the petitioner in this particular case, Mr. Rama Ravi Kumar, this is not the first time when he has pleaded on this particular thing. He has pleaded in 2014, 2017, a single judge bench of the Madras High Court.
Sir, why are you trying to impeach Justice Swaminathan? All of us watching right now, all of us sitting here know the background, know the history. I am asking you very simply, why are you trying to impeach Justice Swaminathan today in December 2025? What has he done which has triggered you?
Ma'am, there is not just one particular case that he has shown his bias. A judge should not be biased. A judge should work on the merit. Madam, if you talk about this particular judgment, in 2014, a single judge bench led by Justice V. Ramasubramaniam has said that the petitioner, first of all, the lighting of Deepathon was not established as per the traditional practices. This is what the judgment
Abbas Haider, I'm really
said.
sorry to
And
say,
the judge
but you
questioned the intent of the petitioner, which is the same person in this particular case.
Mr. Haider, you can keep shifting goalposts and jump from one issue to the other.
Rather than devotional.
The singular question today is, why has an entire opposition bloc decided to unite against one judge? What has changed between then and now? Why was he allowed to continue as judge despite all of these problems, all of these years, all these letters being written? And now what has changed is one judgment that he has delivered for a bunch of devotees to be given the right to light a lamp on that hill close to the temple. That is the truth.
Madam, first of all, Madam, the matter is sub judice. Let the divisional bench decide.
Sir, if the matter is sub judice, why are you moving an impeachment motion? You have made a spectacular point. If the matter is sub judice, which it is, why are you asking for impeachment in a matter that is still sub judice? Abbas Haider, you are weaving all of these webs and you seem to be getting tangled in it right now. But Shehzad Poonawala, as they say, better late than never. There are problems.
Partisan approach should be taken. Even the ruling party should support the opposition.
Abbas Haider, अभी तक तो सारा partisanship आपको नागवार नहीं गुजर रहा था. अब अचानक से ही उनमें सारी बुराइयां आपको क्यों दिखी हैं? I think anyone watching right now is smart enough to see that.
It is important to uphold the sanctity of the judicial system of.
Sir, all this while he seemed perfectly sanctified to you. It's only now that all of the problems are emerging. But can you ignore the fact, some of the things that have been highlighted here, Shehzad Poonawala, the fact that earlier Justice Swaminathan has been vocal about his association with Hindu Munani, an outfit that claims to espouse the cause of Hindus in Tamil Nadu. Advocates have accused him of caste bias and ideological misconduct, and he had, during a 17th annual talent parade of Vedic scholars in July this year, had said that a court verdict had brought him the realization that the protectors of the Vedas would guard them, essentially saying that here is a man who goes against the very idea of secularism and he cannot be impartial. He is a member of Hindu Munani.
Okay, now let me address this one by one, but before I begin that, today there are two pictures in this country. On the one hand, you can see that Deepavali has been accepted as a matter of pride, of Sanatan pride, in the UNESCO heritage list. And on the other hand, in our very own country, in one part, you cannot even light a diya or a deepam, and if you do that, then you run the risk of being impeached or removed as a judge for only fulfilling your constitutional obligation and duty. So these are the two pictures. Now, having said that, let me address one by one. You asked Abbas Haider, why is Samajwadi Party getting involved? Padmaja, how innocent. They are the people who objected to the Deep Utsav in Ayodhya also. They said Christmas ki jhalar laga dena chahiye tha. They are the ones who said Ram Mandir bekar hai. They are the ones who opened fire on Ram Bhakts. So anything which is anti-Ram or anti-Deepavali or anti-Hindu, Sanatan Virodhi hai, wo to they willingly come together. Congress Party, TMC, Samajwadi Party. Now point number 2. This judgment has been upheld by a division bench already. So my question is this, that when the division bench has upheld it, now all these flaws that have been pointed out suddenly in this single judge, these don't exist in the division bench. Then if you are upset with the single judge, you got upset only now. If these were big enough reasons for them to move an impeachment, they should have brought it much earlier. Are they saying that all these factors were not triggered till the time he gave the Hindus their constitutional right? Or are you saying that these are cooked up and manufactured reasons? The real reason is the bench order, the judgment that has been given by the single judge, which has been upheld by the bench. Secondly, Abbas confuses or is contradicting himself. Abbas says that there is a bias in the judge. And in the same length, he tells you that let the final judgment come. So if the final judgment of the Supreme Court has not come, how has he come to a conclusion that there is bias? The Supreme Court could very well uphold the judgment of the division bench. By the way, this judgment continues to be in force because there's no stay or interim relief given by the Supreme Court. The division bench upholds the judgment of the single judge. Now let me come to the third point. He said that this judge, so-called judge, is against Ambedkar. Sir, the party you are taking support from, whether it is Samajwadi Party, they have said Ambedkar is Bhumafia. Left party has said that we will wreck the constitution, and DMK wanted to split away from India. At one point of time, the founders of DMK and its movement wanted to go away from India. So you're taking their support to actually stand up for the values of the constitution. It's like taking the support of Satan to implement the virtues of Quran.
No, but Shehzad Poonawala, can you ignore the history?
I have only one
it may
concern
have been a bit belated, but their argument is, and I want to quote from the notice, the impeachment motion also doesn't actually mention the temple judgment anywhere. It says that questions have been raised regarding impartiality, transparency and secular functioning of the judiciary, undue favoritism favoring advocates from particular community, and deciding cases on the basis of particular political ideology and against the secular principles of the Indian Constitution. They are saying his ideology and his impartiality is suspect, not this judgment. And he's had complaints against him for being casteist.
By the way, just for your knowledge, if they have a problem with his impartiality, obviously in one of his judgments or some of his judgments, then the way to address that is not through an impeachment. Impeachment is only when it is proven misconduct or proven incapacity. Misconduct doesn't come by what you think may be a bias in a judgment. The way to address that is an appeal. You can't impeach judges or remove judges because you feel that their judgment is driven by a certain ideology. For example, Badruddin, one of the judges of the Supreme Court, was a serving member of the Congress party. And then he went back to the Congress and then he went back to the judiciary. So even he was officially associated with the Congress, he could very well serve as a justice of the Supreme Court. Having said that, I have just one last question, just 10 seconds more. Today I was most disturbed to see two signatures of Uddhav Sena. And I felt to myself that Uddhav Sena has completely undergone a siyasi dharmantran. Imagine a party which advocated for the right of Ram Mandir and wanted Babri demolished and took credit for it. Today is coming out in defense of or is coming out against a judge who only gave the right of a
Jayant Benkar answer that. Since the Uddhav Sena has been mentioned, and that's something that even Amit Shah said today, that Uddhav Thackeray belongs to the family that had originally said Bal Thackeray is the only politician who till date said yes, Shiv Seniks were responsible for bringing down that disputed structure in Ayodhya, and today your MPs or the Shiv Sena UBT MPs are putting their signature on the impeachment of a judge who is simply saying, okay, go light a Deepak over there. How has this politics changed? How do you explain this messaging?
No, it is because Uddhav Thackeray and his Sena still feels that BJP ditched them for the post of Chief Minister. If I want to answer politically, not being to any party of Shiv Sena and all that, the simple answer is that Uddhav Thackeray and his Sena feels it's BJP who ditched them.
So the BJP ditched them, so they're ditching the Hindus and they're taking out their anger on the Hindus.
Can I Padmaja continue with the... No, Padmaja, I didn't say this. You are putting in my mouth. Can I complete my sentence? This is one thing. Now, secondly, Uddhav Thackeray's great-grandfather, Prabodhankar Thackeray, was always considered as a reformist, very close to Ambedkar, very close to even Tilak's son, was very close. This is what, he was a reformist, he was against all these so-called customs and everything, and he was a progressive minded. But since 2019, I have written and I have spoken on this channel also, that Mr. Uddhav Thackeray is following the footsteps of Prabodhankar Thackeray.
Not of Bal Thackeray.
Not of Bal Thackeray. Let me put
Not of Bal Thackeray. All right. So Uddhav Thackeray is not following on the footsteps of Bal Thackeray. He is now a reformist.
This is what I want. He is completely what he is following. Okay, when it comes to Hindutva, when it comes to particular sentence that has been said about Babri Masjid, he will invoke that. Yes, my father has said this. But overall, from 2019, what he is following politically is simply the footsteps of his grandfather.
Okay, this is quite a revelation. Karan Verma wants to come in. This is quite a revelation. So yes, you have a reinvented Shiv Sena UBT. I think this is quite clear according to Mr. Menkar over here. Karan Verma.
Yes.
So, of course, yes, they are marching on towards progressive paths. What next can we expect? Probably supporting triple talaq, probably supporting Nikah Halala. I think that's the path Uddhav Thackeray has taken. Let's remember this, Padmaja. This party walked out when CAA was presented. Bala Sahib's long-standing dream, and he said it time and again, was to rehabilitate the persecuted Hindus and Sikhs that came from Pakistan and Bangladesh. Uddhav Thackeray stood for the Waqf. He stood against the amendments of Waqf. Something Bala Sahib said that in our great country, Waqf has no place. So yes, Uddhav has had a sea change from where Bala Sahib stood, and we are seeing that. Padmaja, we are not surprised, but Padmaja, coming to the moot issue, can you imagine that a judge, as per our constitution, can only be impeached for misdemeanors and misdeeds? According to them, someone who upholds the rights of the Hindus, that is construed as misdemeanor. I mean, that is how low they've stooped today. They've called for eradication of Sanatan Dharma brazenly. Their spokesperson, R. Rajiv Gandhi, has called for the genocide of Brahmins, which was discussed threadbare in court. Now, this sort of intimidation tactics by the Congress, by Samajwadi Party, the fact is they are united not just by hatred for Modi, but by hatred for Sanatan Dharma, which is clear, which is institutionalized in ink by them today. And that is for everyone to see. At least they are proud of it and they are unapologetic about the Sanatan hate.
So at least now it should be clear, this is not the Shiv Sena of Hindu Hriday Samrat. I think that should be put on the manifesto also. We are not that Shiv Sena. We are progressive Shiv Sena, not Shiv Sena UBT, we are Shiv Sena P. Shiv Sena progressive.
Padmaja, your question was perfect, and again I'm referring to the particular sentence. Is this the Shiv Sena or somebody else has put up? Is this the Shiv Sena who said, I am proud of those who brought down Babri? Again I'm repeating my sentence. Since 2019, after taking over as the chief minister, with the support of Congress and NCP, you will find that the total behavior of Uddhav Thackeray is completely on a progressive path. He may be caught in the dilemma whether to...
So are you suggesting Bal Thackeray was not progressive? Sir, you're really doing no favors to Uddhav Thackeray or to that party right now.
When he says that.
Are you suggesting that Bal Thackeray was not progressive? That Uddhav Thackeray post-2019 has turned progressive in your words? I wonder what you're trying to say about the legacy of Bala Sahib Thackeray.
Padmaja, will you allow me to...
Just very quickly,
Padmaja. In 2012, of course, Bala Sahib Thackeray was a vibrant leader, who said that I am proud of those people who brought down Babri. What will you call it? I am saying progressive, secular Uddhav Thackeray since 2019. Okay, if you want progressive, a word to be added, it is secular.
ठीक है सर, बहुत अच्छी बात है. अगर आपको ये लगता ही है कि प्रोग्रेसिव और सेक्युलर हो गए हैं, पहले पता नहीं बैकवर्ड और रिग्रेसिव हुआ करते थे, गुड फॉर यू, बट देन दिस शुड बी मेड पब्लिक इन महाराष्ट्र टू ऑल द शिव सैनिक्स who still today revere, and every Dashera they actually bow before the Hindu Hriday Samrat Bala Sahib Thackeray. They should not be bowing before him. They should be bowing to somebody else who's progressive. Only 30 seconds, Shahzad Poonawala. I'm coming to you, Nikhil Jain. Only 30 seconds. At least now it's official.
Padmaja, I think, Padmaja, the easier way to do this was not to call it Shiv Sena progressive, but to say UBT stands for Uddhav Bhaijan Tanzim. उन्होंने सावरकर छोड़ा, हिंदू छोड़ा, मंदिर छोड़ा, और क्या पकड़ा? राहुल गांधी को पकड़ा, कांग्रेस को पकड़ लिया. तो they have become from Shiv Sena to Sonia Sena. Secondly, I just want to ask one question, that DMK Neta has said Sanatan should be eliminated. Is that progressive value or is that regressive value? Can you ask Mr. Mainkar, is Sanatan elimination said by Mr. Udaynidhi, is this progressive or is this regressive?
Can I answer? Can I answer? Which Sanatan, Mr. you want? The Sati? You want the case of Apana? You want this Sanatan? What is the meaning of Sanatan? You want the widows to be burnt on the fire? Is this that you want Sanatan?
Mr. Mainkar, I don't know which Sanatan you follow or which Sanatan you have.
Colonel, just so you know.
I don't know where Sati happens and where this is prescribed in Sanatan. If this is the definition that you as a supporter of Shiv Sena UBT are bringing on national television, I have to say, sir, you are horribly misinformed. When has Sati been practiced in the recent past? It is illegal, it's a crime in our country. And to confront the truth, you are actually reading from the playbook of some of the people in the DMK, and that's very, very unfortunate. But let me bring in again, this entire argument that is being made of how he is biased towards one ideology and one political party, Nikhil Jain. Let's actually address those specific allegations. Let's tell you a few of the other judgments of Justice G.R. Swaminathan. Not too long ago in July 2024, and I want this to be put out factually, because it's very easy to quote selectively and say Justice Swaminathan is biased. He is member of a Hindu outfit. He seems to be favoring the BJP. But when it was July 2024, he ruled in favor of a Sufi Muslim group. He allowed that Muslim group to observe Muharram in the traditional way and emphasized the right to practice religion according to one's customs. Then again, you had a case in 2022 where law colleges were ordered to install B.R. Ambedkar's portraits. That's right, because it's also said he is anti-Dalit, he is anti the Ambedkarite ideology, but the law colleges were ordered by him to install B.R. Ambedkar's portraits. He recognized Ambedkar's contribution to law and equality, and of course the case which K. Annamalai himself quoted, the case against the then BJP president. He made remarks against a Christian NGO. Justice Swaminathan refused to quash the summons against Annamalai in February 2024 and stressed the accountability of public figures for impact of statements. So when you have different cases, he went by the law. Sure, some can be selectively cherry-picked and quoted as showing partiality towards a certain ideology or political groups, but why should these be ignored? Nikhil Jain.
Padmaja, so Mr. Annamalai from the BJP made a lot of pertinent points regarding how the India bloc is trying to target this judge because he's given a particular order in favor of a particular community or to appease, a certain other vote bank. Now, if indeed what he's saying is correct, why is he scared of the right procedure? Because so far as I know, the Judges Inquiry Act of 1968 provides for the Speaker of the Lok Sabha or the Chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, as the case may be, to constitute a committee to inquire into the allegations once they receive a motion for removal of a judge under Article 270. Now, if indeed this judge is fair, there's no misbehavior, there's no misconduct, there is no incapacity on his part to continue in his office, why should it not go to a committee? Because at the end of the day, 100 members of parliament have given a notice with multiple parties signing on it for the removal of a particular judge. The judiciary is not above the constitution. It's not above the parliament. It is an important arm of the state machinery. And let's follow the rules and procedure. If indeed he's not partisan at all, if indeed he's not casteist, if indeed he doesn't, hold one particular religion in a problematic light, all of that will present before the committee, and the speaker can jolly well take a call to not allow the house to have a discussion on his removal.
Exactly, but this is being done to browbeat, and what we are discussing today is, what is his misdemeanor? Why should there even be an inquiry against him or that motion be moved? The politics of that is being questioned. What is his crime today, according to those who have signed on that motion?
I'll get to that. First of all, one other point that I wanted to address, that Mr. Annamalai says that we want to keep the judiciary above politics. May I remind your viewers that when some advocate hurled a shoe at Chief Justice B.R. Gavai, and that was completely linked to a casteist view by the particular lawyer, the Bhaskar Rao, who's currently a national spokesperson of the BJP, hailed the person for hurling the shoe. So I don't think that these people think judiciary is above politics. Addressing your particular question that you posed before me. So his calls for removal are not new. They've been in the fray since at least July or August this year. Now, there was also a case when he went around touting
where he has done exactly opposite of what you accuse him. That he has ruled against leaders of the BJP, he has ruled in favor of the minority community, he has ruled in favor of Ambedkarite ideology, and yet you continue with your assertions that he is anti-Dalit, he is anti-Muslim, he is pro-BJP.
Did he really rule in favor? Did he really rule against Annamalai? Because I think Annamalai was not giving you interviews,
He refused to quash the summons, and then Annamalai had to go to a higher bench and get a stay.
All right, but
Justice Swaminathan did not give him any relaxation, sir.
Padmaja, quashing a summon is different from acting against a person. There are grounds under which you can quash a summon. You can't just quash a summon because you like a person or you don't like a person.
When you want to nitpick, you will split hair and say, oh, he didn't really, quash this. He didn't really give relief, but he did this. But the point is, sir, if you are trying to paint him as some pro-BJP, pro-Hindu judge, the facts of the matter do not bear it out. Karan Verma.
Can I please complete? You posed an important question. I want to answer that.
So, Padmaja, at the outset, Nikhil has tried to skirt the issue. His party, and I'm quoting Priyank Khadge now, on 4th September 2023, he said, of course, when asked about Sanatan being equated with dengue and malaria, he said, of course, if a religion doesn't talk about equality, it is as good a disease. So, this is the official stance of the Congress party. He's not addressing the moot issue that the misdemeanor here is that he's upheld the rights of a community, he's upheld the rights of Sanatan Dharma. Today, they've gone so low, so abysmally low in bashing Sanatan that they want to justify everything. And Nikhil used to shout from rooftops, process is the punishment. Now, what is the process he's referring to here? What wrong has this judge done to face this sort of humiliation, to face this sort of impeachment? He skirted that entire issue. He's not admitted the moot point. The moot point is your hatred for Sanatan is.
And Nikhil Jain, what's really confusing is what is the message you will give to voters? Look, the politics of Tamil Nadu is very, very different. You have a Dravidian brand of politics, but what is the Samajwadi Party, the Congress Party, the Samajwadi Party going to tell their voters in Uttar Pradesh? What are you going to say in Bihar? What are you going to say in Madhya Pradesh? That yes, we are against a judge who simply said you can light a Deepak close to a temple.
Yes, exactly.
Padmaja, the message to the voters in Tamil Nadu, is that to me or Heather?
This is not about appeasement of any particular community, but if you see it around, basically Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to appease their voters, which is not right. We are trying to appease the constitution. We are trying to uphold.
What has he done, sir, that is anti-constitution? That is the exact question you have to answer. What has he done that is anti-constitution?
Can I answer?
Madam,
Padmaja, can I answer on that? I was trying to complete the answer on that. Can I please come in?
Between the notice and the impeachment of the judge stands 2/3 majority in both.
Do you realize, Abbas Haider, that you are calling a judgment that still hasn't been stayed, that is still sub judice, anti-constitution? The entire matter is yet to be decided by the Supreme Court, but you and your party and a bunch of others have already decided that this is anti-constitution. I am asking you, if tomorrow the Supreme Court, if tomorrow, Abbas Haider, the Supreme Court upholds this decision, are you going to call the Supreme Court anti-constitution? Are you going to ask for impeachment of the Supreme Court judges as well?
I'm not speaking on the matter which is sub judice, but with all due respect, madam, this is not about this particular case which you are talking about.
This is, I'm sorry to say, but this is nothing more than a fig leaf. And I'll tell you why. Now, you can sit on TV, hold on a second. It is very, very easy to call this bluff. I'm sorry, Abbas Haider. Here is what you had Jyoti Mani, Member of Parliament of the Congress, saying today. She said, we are very concerned about the situation in Thiruparankundram. Tamil Nadu is a peace-loving society, irrespective of religion, caste or linguistic background. We wish to live peacefully. Our harmonious society will be disturbed by such a judgment. Therefore, it is important to reflect public sentiments. She is a signatory to this impeachment motion. Arvind Sawant, UBT Sena MP, he is saying, if this judgment goes against our customs, see, in our country, the constitution gives us the right to perform personal actions, whether puja, worship or anything else, the constitution allows us. However, if there is a tradition and someone goes against it, that is not right. That is why impeachment may have arisen. These MPs are very clear about why they have moved this motion. What you are doing right now, sir, is just damage control, and the people can see through it.
Not at all. Even if you look at the 2004 judgment of Justice Subramaniam, that judgment also says the same thing. He has questioned the intent of the petitioner who has pleaded in their bench, and they also said that this is going to disturb the public order. And Article 25 or Article 26, it is subject to public order. It cannot disturb the public order.
Shehzad Poonawala, the judiciary is going to be a collateral in all of this between the politics of India Alliance and your party.
First of all, Padmaja, let us understand that judgments and orders are not popularity contests, or they are not barometers of sentiment of people, that if supposing in their opinion it does not match with the popularity or the sentiment, they can go and remove an impeachment motion against a sitting judge. That's not how the judiciary works, and that's not how removal of a judge works. Point number one. Point number two, do you know the irony and the hypocrisy? Kapil Sibal has taken up to Supreme Court the removal of the motion against Yashwant Verma, in whose house money was found. There, Mr. Nikhil Jain entirely supports Kapil Sibal's right to do that. And he says कि यहाँ पर नहीं होना चाहिए impeachment motion. But in this case, just because this judge gave one order in favor of Hindus, not because they are Hindus, but because they have a constitutional right, those people who have been against constitution all the time are now saying that because of the judge's past precedent, which they are now manufacturing, they are coming up with this excuse. Okay. By the way, the Congress party should be the last person preaching about Constitution Ambedkar. They defeated Ambedkar twice. They were the ones who said that reservation should not be there in 1960.
You know, the simple thing is that in politics, sometimes the nitty-gritties and the legalities, the more important thing is the optics. And when you have an impeachment motion like this being moved, coming on the heels of the judgment that was passed with regard to Madurai, I think the messaging is very, very clear to everyone watching this very closely. For the time being, all gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for watching.